everybody. Welcome to another episode of Carly's Couch. But as you can see, I'm not on a couch today. I am off the couch in the wild at the National Wushu Training Center with Coach Matt and the amazing Kenny Lou. And so we're going to hop into this episode. Hey, y'all. How you doing today?
Hey, all right.
What's going on? Hey. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yes, always excited to be here. I always start off every episode with a question from the couch. And so I'm going to ask y'all today, Coach Matt, Kenny, we're here to talk about martial arts and how it's changed your lives and how it's changing the community. But first, what is your guilty pleasure? What is your guilty pleasure? What is it? Ho-hos, donuts? I mean, I heard one of y'all likes donuts. I don't know.
You know what? I put peanut butter on everything. No, everything. Bacon, ham, no.
Makes sense.
Wow.
But
I can't be
pizza?
associated with it anymore.
On pizza. No, you don't understand. You ever have some of them Thai dishes with the peanut
yeah, I have
sauce or
that
something?
too, yes.
Yes. Okay, think of that peanut sauce, but on everything. If it wasn't for that peanut sauce, I wouldn't have done it.
I don't know about the pizza, Coach Matt, but okay. I hear you, especially with the salty and the Elvis Presley sandwich type thing. I feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a peanut butter head. And what about you, Kenny?
Oh man, I don't know if I can follow up with that. My gosh.
Sorry.
Man, ever since I got married, I got turned on to coffee. And so I drink quite a bit of coffee. I'm trying to wean out on it. And also chocolate. It would be chocolate any time of day. It would be after a workout, it would be before a workout.
What kind of chocolate, though? What kind of chocolate we talking?
Oh man, you name it, but it has to be good quality chocolate.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. It can't just be the Hershey's.
None of the waxy,
That
not
waxy
real.
stuff doesn't count as chocolate. Don't even talk to me about that. There needs to be the really good stuff. Usually the more rare kinds that you can't find anywhere. The more it looks like, oh, I've never seen this before, the more I want to eat it.
Okay. Do you like
That's my
Dubai
guilty
chocolate?
pleasure.
Have you had the Dubai chocolate?
Oh yeah. It's the latest thing. It's everywhere right now. I'm
went
this
crazy on
place is
TikTok.
Dubai. Yeah, I know. It's wild. So yeah, I've tried quite a few of them. They're all quite good. So I don't have a specific brand to recommend, but yeah.
I love that. I'm going to share mine. And actually, so coffee is an easy one. It's
Yeah.
my emotional support coffee.
Yeah.
I just like
Yeah.
having one with me as a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So always down to go get coffee with y'all and put peanut butter on it.
No, for real. Coffee peanut butter flavor? No.
I gotta
Oh
try.
my God.
We created a monster, okay?
I'm never eating with him.
But I actually love the elote corn dipper chips from Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's?
Yeah, I call it Trader Joe's.
Okay.
yeah, Trader Joe's.
I got it.
Elote corn dipper chips are fire, and then they have vegan marshmallows
Oh,
that
yeah,
are
yeah.
Fluffy in perfection.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that you can put peanut butter on.
I bet I could.
Yeah. Trader Joe's actually is one of my favorite places. Just look for stuff I've never seen. I found these orange cream popsicles that are $3,
Yes.
and they're 6 of them in the
Orange cream.
box, and I'm just eating one every day.
It's a snack emporium for adults.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. It's candy store.
Yeah.
Yes. Which we could talk about Trader Joe's all day, but we're here to talk about Wushu. But first, before we do that, I want my audience to know who I'm talking to.
Yes.
So would y'all like to take turns introducing yourself? Who are you? What do you do? How long have you been practicing Wushu? And then I'll hop into the question.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Matthew Osborne. I lead the National Wushu Training Center. I was taught by Eric Chin and Deborah Chin. Coach Eric was the founder, and then they married. They were the two head coaches so long ago, and around 2011, I took over everything, going from studio to studio before we came out here to Chinatown. And so I started August 9th, 2005. My very first day of Wushu, August 9th, 2005. And so I run beginner classes to advanced classes, about 4 days a week. And it's been going very well, I should say. Everything has its ups and downs, but I'm glad that it has been as successful as it has been these last few years. Yeah, and so, 2005.
21 years.
So this August, it'll be 22 years.
Wow.
Oh, my face.
Can't tell. Can't tell.
Yeah, and through Wushu, that's where I really got into acting and stunts. and I found the woman who would become my wife. You know, my teacher, Eric Chin, he was the father I never had. But also through Wushu, because of Wushu, I actually found my long lost father. You know, so I'm not lying. I got my surrogate father, my biological father. I got my wife. I got my 2 kids. You know, and I got nice little careers that all broken off from Wushu.
From Wushu.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe I don't owe anything to it, but I'm certainly extremely grateful to this piece of Chinese culture, you know. Yeah.
How beautiful and aligned. Oh my gosh, the whole Wushu family and lineage.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, I'll get a little bit more into about me later, but then, like, I've trained at like hundreds of different schools. Like, Wushu has been and was a big part of my life for such a long time, and I kind of stumbled onto this school, and like I think UN's the best school like anywhere, because most Wushu schools are like usually kids or like teenagers trying to pad their resumes for college, so nobody really cares, and like a lot of teachers stop caring. But then Coach Matt runs a school where everybody here is like was like an adult. Everybody here is like really passionate about learning how to use their body, move their body, and he teaches it so well and so thoroughly. And so that's why we met. It's because I was like, I want more people to be exposed to like not just Wushu, but the way he teaches Wushu also. So it's kind of why this whole thing is even happening right now.
Absolutely. And how long have you been practicing, Kenny?
For me, it would be, let's see, I started, it's about 21 years too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So I'm sitting here with 2 people who've been practicing Wushu for over 20 years.
Yeah.
But also, what do you do? Because you didn't talk about
Yeah,
that.
that's
But shout
right,
out to you
that's
for
right.
giving Coach Matt his flowers.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just very grateful for him in this sport. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Kenny Liu. I'm an actor. Formerly, I was a Wushu athlete. So yeah, my story went back to like college, like my first year of college at UC Berkeley, engineering major, and I was just absolutely miserable. Like my work study stuff was like 10, 12 hours a day, and I was just completely miserable. I knew I wasn't happy, and so I was like in between this rock and a hard place. And my friend one day was just like, "Hey man, you want to do this thing called Wushu?" And I'm like, "What the hell's Wushu? Like Mushu Park?" And he's like, "No man, it's this thing that like Jet Li and Jackie Chan does." And I was like, "Oh, interesting." And I was like, "Nah, not for me. It's too weird, you know." It's like, especially that time, and so like a month after that, I gained like 20 pounds of like weight because I was so miserable in college.
Welcome to college.
Yeah. I was like, I had no outlet, and so then finally I was like, "Hey man, okay, I'll go try this weird thing." And so I go, and then I show up, and immediately I'm kind of like, "Oh wow, this is new. This is different. This is like finally a place where I can kind of like get away from it all, and also kind of feel present in my body, and like to kind of celebrate my body's functionality and to be present in myself." It totally saved me, you know. And so then before I knew it, like I was like on the team, I started teaching, and then 7 years later I made it to the US team. And so I was competing all over the world and doing all kinds of stuff. Became Pan American champion in 3 different. Yeah, like big, like I was so into it. And then, you know, there's a lot of acrobatics, as you guys have seen. And then I was like, okay, it's time to retire. So I retired and then moved to Los Angeles, and since then we're doing a lot of stuff in acting. But it was just a couple of years ago that I was kind of like, you know, I used to love this thing. Like, let's just practice it a little bit. And then that was when I realized, like, wow, Wushu isn't just for athletes, like young people to like jump and stuff. It's actually, you know, practice right, you can do it the rest of your life. And you can be supple, you can be explosive, you can move, you can like be like basically feel and move as if you're young, like well into your old age. And so that's kind of what me and Coach Matt are building right now, is like, yeah, this is something that, I mean, the average age of the students was like 35, 40, like, you know, and so everybody's just like, I'm like, wow, in 1 year, they went from like somebody that like usually sits in front of their couch, so they're like standing tall and proud, and like the way they move just completely change. So anyway, that's kind of the long way of telling my story.
But that's why we're here, right? It's so funny. Shout out to Alexia. Alexia actually used to be my podcast partner. But then she was like, I don't want to talk no more. Do you still want to talk? I was like, I do. And she was like, okay, well, I'll help support you and do whatever, you know, you want to do.
Yeah.
And I was telling her I was going to come to another Wushu day. This he has some Wushu days where he invites people. So we'll have to have another one and invite y'all to come. But she was like, yeah, you should do an episode with them and you know, talk about how it's more of a lifestyle. She's like, that's right up your alley in wellness. So I'm a personal trainer, a yoga teacher, a mindfulness instructor, but it's all about movement for life. Right. It's all about what's in, like the things you can do in your body to help your mind, to help your spirit, to help your heart, to help you show up as your best self outside of, like, off the mat.
Amen.
Outside of here.
Amen.
And so anything that we can do to do that. But to backtrack just a little bit, what is Wushu? Yeah, we keep talking about Wushu. But what is Wushu?
It's Wushu pork.
Wushu pork.
Oh, you heard that? When you start Wushu, that's the number. Wushu pork? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
How many times have we heard that?
Non-stop. It's Ninja Ballet, okay?
Ninja Ballet.
I like Ninja Ballet. That might be the title of the episode. Ninja Ballet, okay?
Yeah.
Wushu, Wu is military, Shu is art. It is the very general word for martial art in Mandarin Chinese. It doesn't necessarily mean one thing or the other. It is an umbrella term. It's like saying food, fruit, cakes, you know, it could be anything. Generally, when one says Wushu, we generally know, oh, you mean the modern contemporary Wushu versus traditional Kung Fu. Wushu Kung Fu is synonymous. Kung Fu, Gong Fu, that is your hard work, your effort, your time and effort for any given skill. Your
Cooking,
skiing,
Oh, just mastery.
Yeah.
your mastery.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Kung Fu and Gong Fu are just practice and mastery?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a
Yes.
total misnomer.
Like,
Like,
wait.
everybody in the West has been getting it wrong for decades.
When
Like, I would
when are
Right.
we not?
Yeah.
When are we not?
Yeah, in Chinese we would say like, oh, xia gong fu, which means like, hey, like put your like nose to the grindstone, and it literally applies to like, you know, skiing, surfing, write calligraphy, like, I don't know, basket weaving, like, you know, that's what gong fu really means. And so wushu is the real term for what we think wushu is, or kung fu is. Yeah.
And Wushu in modern times. So in the old days, you got to conquer yourself, other people, and nature. Okay, and that's what your martial art, your military art is used for. And over time, techniques in combat warfare, they develop, and certain things aren't necessarily the most proficient. A lot of martial arts start to become obsolete on the battlefield. And to preserve it, the Chinese government decided to make a unified system so that things wouldn't totally die out, because there are masters all over who I've got no one to teach this to, you know, and just arts, just they get lost to time, you know. And so modern Wushu, in the way that we practice it today, they didn't know what it would become. No one could have foreseen, or maybe some, who knows. But it has evolved into much of a performance sport, which is very interesting, because if you, can you see that? This is the Wu character here. This is the Wu character here. Whoopsie. And if you split that up into its individual pieces, it means lance, like a spear, and it means to not fight. And Wushu is martial arts expressed through Chinese philosophy. It is also the art of not fighting, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
You know, if like what do you mean? If you're not gonna fight, why learn how to fight? And I tell people, you hear the phrase, or maybe you haven't, one sharpened sword keeps another in the sheath. You know, if I'm walking around with a sword and you're a big bully and you want to rob me, you're gonna think twice because you see that sword on my head.
Yeah.
And maybe I never have to use it, and we become the best friends. Who knows? But just having, you know, you don't go mess with bees. Why? Yes, exactly. Otherwise, they'll leave you alone. They'll make you honey, you know, and they'll make life just a little bit sweeter. They pollinate and everything, but don't go messing with the bees, because you understand there's a potential threat level. And knowing how to be, not that we're fighting like MMA guys or, you know, military who have to survive in that kind of way, but having the ability to be powerful while under control is very important. because your fist, your feet, tools, machines, they are all powerful. And what comes with power? Responsibility. Jinx. Yes, exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah, very, very beautifully said. And yeah, and so then just to cap off kind of what Coach Matt was saying, like Wushu in its modern form now, it's like there's the boxing like stuff where it's like more like a combat sport. And then Wushu, the way that we practice is more form based. And so a lot of that focus actually turns more into like health and how to use your body in combat without having to actually like fight somebody. So the reason why I think this is such a great practice for your health is because you are strengthening all your ranges of motion. You're learning how to punch, you're learning how to throw, you're learning how to like exert your body without, how to move your body actually without moving. Because you learn to rely on your body weight, you learn to rely on your tendons, you learn to rely on your fascia to do some of the really cool stuff that we're able to do without losing your breath. So all of that is your presence and outside of the need to like actually fight somebody. And I think that carries on into everything, you know, whether you're going into a boardroom meeting or if you're going to do a presentation, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you control your breath, the way that you feel about yourself. I think Wushu applies to all of those things as a result.
And it's so beautiful. Even coming to a couple of classes. I've only been to 2 so far. I'll be back. Yeah, I've only been to 2, and it's so much balance. It's so much range of motion. It's control. It's power. It's all the things that people are training, but for life, and I like the light applications. And I want to ask, since y'all have been practicing for so long and I don't know if Wushu Master is a thing, but you can can I say y'all are Wushu Masters or no? No. Like, no? Okay.
The real masters always feel like they're never the master. That's where we're at.
I'm going to call them Wushu Masters. They didn't call themselves that. This is totally a Carly Carpio stamp of approval. But
Yeah.
what is something, because I imagine it's infinite, but what is something that Wushu has helped you master about yourself?
Ooh. If you've got an answer right away, I'll let you take it. It's coming to me. It's coming to me.
I got one. I'll give you some advice.
Yeah.
I would say the very first thing and the most apparent one was definitely confidence. Especially when I was like a lost college student, I was like, I didn't value myself. Like I didn't value my time. I didn't value outside of, I needed to, get my grade in class or something. And going to Wushu was like going to a temple where I was like, oh, I'm attaching to my spirit. I'm attaching to my sense of expression of who I am. This is my arm. This is my leg. This is my waist. And in that way, I learned how to be more myself. That would be the very first thing. And the second thing is it gave me a practice to keep developing that for the rest of my life. Because honestly, I'm constantly still learning things about like my movement or my body or like, you know what? I don't give myself enough rest. And your Wushu will tell you that because I'm like, after I work out for like 4 or 5 hours, like afterwards I'm like, okay, I really need the next day to rest because my body is telling me you gotta chill out, man. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, even the way that I move, like I do a certain movement. Oh, I haven't cultivated awareness yet in that way. Those kind of things. So yes.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna jump right onto what he said about confidence because, oh boy, I don't know. Look, growing up, I did no sports. Where I grew up, everybody was good at everything. Basketball, football. Oh, geez. So I felt like a fool doing anything. So I rebelled far. And so I can't dance. I don't play any instrument. I always felt like I was lacking in everything. And when I first saw Wushu in a video game, I was like, oh, I want to do that. Soul Calibur 2, yes.
I knew it. I knew it was Soul Calibur.
I never had like, what video game?
yeah. I was like, the staff, man.
It took a while. It was the staff. It
Oh.
took a while, but once I got there and in everything in life, I felt that Wushu was so difficult, particularly Changquan. Long fist boxing is what we do specifically. Under that umbrella that we talked about earlier, we do long fist style, northern styles. And it's so difficult. That's why don't nobody want to do it
Yeah,
half the
it's
time.
tough.
Or it's just,
Yeah.
things that look cool.
It sure is
Yeah.
pretty.
Once you
Yeah,
realize
yeah, yeah.
once you realize the work that you got to put in, which is great, honestly, but not everybody wants to do that. But after dealing with the struggles of trying to overcome so many hills and valleys, and I felt so much more confident in regular life. Like, well, I dealt with the strain of my coaches, the strain of the practice, and you can't yell at me any harder than my teachers did. I'm more afraid of them than the wild man on the street. And not that it made life easy, but I guess it gave me more courage and discipline to deal with the difficulties of life. And I've kept that with me ever since. And I'm not lying either, because there's a certain sense of I don't want to say calm. I want to say there's a certain sense of acceptance within myself that it's like, okay, I don't have every answer to every issue I'm going to have in the world, but I know that because of the lessons that I've learned from Wushu, I'll be able to tackle these issues going forward. And Wushu has definitely helped me with that. Trust me, when the IRS first sent me that letter, that first time when I first started working, IRS, not the IRS, And now I'm like, all right, let me see what they got.
We figured out.
Let me not panic. Let me just read the letter. See what's going on. Okay. I don't get the jitters like I used to. I really don't. And not that I'm fearless, but no, Wushu has helped me in a lot of situations, be it something really dangerous in the world or the IRS. It has certainly given me a way to navigate life relatively comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a grounding in a system, and that's so funny because one of my questions was, why should people do Wushu?
Oh.
And I mean that all of those things, like if you want a system of discipline and a way to show up for yourself, I think there's so much always going on in the world that if we are not intentional about how we take care of ourselves
Yes.
and show up, you will fall apart and be overwhelmed and not make it out here in these streets because there's just so much going
Right.
on.
Absolutely.
And Wushu sounds like an amazing outlet for that. One of the last things I'll ask is Coach Matt has to start teaching all of his classes here shortly, which will be back. This is the first of a couple episodes that I need to do with Wushu. But how can people support? If they are in LA, how can they get involved with Wushu? What's the first step if I wanted to try Wushu?
You know what? Whatever town you're in, just hit Google Wushu schools near you. You're in college, there might be a club. There is a lot of avenues. There's so much information today. It's difficult to learn from the internet, but trust me, super difficult if you really want the technique route. But the information is out there, and it's a little more widespread than it was 20 years ago, or worse when our teachers were, in America or what have you. That's get on Google, get on YouTube. That's your first step, and you will probably find a place near you if you would like to really get involved. And it doesn't have to be modern Wushu. Your Tai Chi Chuan. There are so many styles of Chinese arts that are out there that we aren't in the Olympics. You don't see it as much. And so this
We were almost in the Olympics, 2008.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
No,
Yeah.
this is right.
Team USA right here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of story behind that. But let me let Kenny take that. The
Yeah.
rest of it, as far as
Right.
how if you want to get involved.
I mean, yes to what he said, especially since so many of the people that I came up with I was competing with when we were all coming up, we all had a common Sifu, and his name was Sifu YouTube. Because there were just these videos of Chinese practitioners, and we'd be stopping it frame by frame to be like, okay, how did he do that? Okay, how did he jump that high? Like, how did he? So that would be the first place that you would learn if you're in the middle of nowhere and you can't find a Wushu school. But if you're in Los Angeles, I would say come out here, National Wushu Training Center. We're like in this beautiful park out here. You guys are gonna get some B-roll, but then there's like all these families and kids out here. It's like the least stressful dojo to come to, because we're not in like, we're not like, we need you to be like this, to be like, like come into like some grand like door. Everybody out here is the kids playing, and when you're doing kind of the stuff that you're uncomfortable doing, you don't feel so weird because everybody out here is crazy. I'm kidding. They're not crazy. They're very sweet people out here. But yeah, you know, it's a great time, and it really does feel like you're out here to celebrate nature, celebrate yourself, take a deep breath when you're like your big day, and just like, you know, be out here, be in your body. So
Absolutely. Can both of y'all tell them where to find you so they could want to support the National Wushu Training Center or
Yes.
each one of you individually?
Right. And if you specifically want to come here, you are more than welcome. First day is entirely free. Just come check it out. No stress. Trainwushu.com. That's www. People don't say that anymore, do they? Trainwushu.com. I'm old. Man, I'm getting old. Trainwushu.com. Find me on Instagram at WushuMatt or National Wushu Training Center. Facebook as well. And yeah, that's how you can get involved directly with us.
Awesome.
yeah, and you can find me at the Kenny Liu, which is LEU, on Instagram. Probably be the best way to contact me.
Okay, and then my last question. Since y'all have been doing Wushu for so long, when you practice, are you practicing just to practice? Or are you working towards a goal? Earlier, they've seen y'all do some weapon stuff. Is there something you're working on in your Wushu journey right now that I can check back in a few months on?
You know what? Yes, but not in the sense of competition or I need to earn a new rank. All I really care about is the personal satisfaction to know that I did it or I tried. I've gotten a lot of accomplishments in my life and I'm always pushing for more, but there is something so wonderful to just the practice of grinding, as we say in the video game world, to level up, just to know that I leveled up myself. It gives me so much self-satisfaction. If someone said, Coach, I'm gonna give you $1,000. I don't want you to ever pick up that 3 section again. No, I give you 20,000. No, I'm serious. No, no. I love the personal satisfaction of knowing that my hard work and effort, my Gong Fu is still growing. It's still growing, you know. Maybe I've not reached Jet Li levels, and this man can jump like nobody's business. I'm not there yet, but I'm still shooting
Be there
for
soon.
it. Still shooting for it.
Same.
That's a great question. And honestly, the reason why I come here from the beginner class to advanced class is because I'm practicing in all the classes, because I'm actually revisiting a lot of even like my most basic movements to further cultivate and refine them, because again, there's always more things to learn. I'm like reapplying a lot of my understanding of what I'm doing, how am I applying this, and how to express myself in a better and purer and more martial way. So that's where I'm at in my journey.
Amazing. Thank y'all so much for sharing. Coach, can you tell us how to close out? How do you close out a class? And I'll close out the podcast like that.
Okay, we salute out with our right hand as a fist,
Okay.
our left hand as a palm. Our right hand represents warriorship, our left hand represents intellect, okay? And we always think first. That's why it's on top, but we fight if we have to. It basically means I come in peace. And we just say thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, you.
All right. That was great. Right on.
Yeah, that's a pleasure.